at budget, which they always have a shortfall on, but that's only a small part of what they're doing. And now they've tricked the counties, the cities, the public pension funds, the private pension funds, and others to invest in the derivatives, in the banks, because they were getting a good return. Now we hear all these states...
Well, they thought they were getting a good return. They were getting a good return until they started to lose money.
Exactly, but that was the big setup. And so now... we've got Bloomberg and others reporting the federal regulators are ordering the public pension funds to, quote, invest in failed banks. Since when can regulators order the heads of the pension funds to invest in, quote, failed banks? That sounds like a pretty bad investment.
Well, somebody comes to me and says, look, I've done everything I can to turn around the drain in my, on my own finances and my family. I've got extra time. I want to be involved in my community. The first thing I say is, the New World Order is pulling a ton of money out of your community through local, state, and government, through the pension funds. And if you can simply understand the game, bring transparency, and start to turn that around, the opportunities for wealth creation are absolutely phenomenal, Alex. And it's just so huge that no one can even imagine how big it is. But I agree with you. If you look at our state and local government finances, let's start with a simple one. The job engine in this country is small business, okay? So you have great local families with great local businesses, whether they're banks or stores or other operations in your community. They are the job engine. They are the thing that's keeping your community going in many respects. And if you look at the government bank deposits, the government investments, the government contracts, the government purchases, those are going not to those great local businesses or the great businesses in the state that could. They're going out to places like Wall Street. So I always use the example of the food stamp program here in Tennessee. We have counties in Tennessee, Alex, that have 25% unemployment rate, but meantime we are outsourcing our data servicing and customer support on our state food stamp program. Are you ready for this? To J.P. Morgan Chase in India. So jobs that could be being done in Tennessee in counties where because these are digital, you can shoot these with telecommunications anywhere.
Exactly. Even the bureaucracy to deliver the welfare of dependency has been globalized to make sure that none of the money ever gets back to the community.
Right. So, and nobody connects the dots because that knowledge, those databases.
Well, here's another example I saw in the AP last week with a Texas case, and the legislature's complaining. They're taking existing roads, giving stimulus money to Centra of Spain to come in and put toll roads on it, and paying them stimulus money to put the toll road gates and license plate reading cameras in. And it came out that's illegal to use stimulus money for a toll road, but they just don't care. I mean, this is incredible.
Well, it's incredible. I mean, in my little town of Hickory Valley, there was a proposal to put up a cell tower at our city hall and use a government grant to do it when private parties were going to own it. But the government was going to pay, I think, for half of it. It's unbelievable. So, the money is clearly out of control. And I think, we're seeing incredible polls in the last 2 weeks. Rasmussen polls basically in election between Ron Paul and Obama today, they're basically even. And we've seen other polls, Alex, showing that people of all parts of the political spectrum agree more with the Tea Parties than they agree with any political party, Republican or Democrat. And so you're watching a very powerful unification start to happen around, Americans' belief in the Constitution and the importance of running the money clean, simple, basic issues. And now with April 15th behind us, nobody wants taxation without representation, which is really where we've gotten with the bailouts and now with the health care bill. And so I think you're starting to see a very powerful new consensus emerge in America, which is our real opportunity, saying, wait a minute, this system has no legitimacy. It has no legitimacy under the Constitution. It has no legitimacy under the law. And the funny thing, the conundrum, the weakest, you remember in Star Wars, was it Star Wars where they have the hole in the Death Star? The Death Star has one vulnerability.
Yes.
Let me tell you where the vulnerability is for the New World Order. The hole in their Death Star. And that is that as a bureaucracy, they have promoted all sorts of wonderful things, the most wonderful being the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, and the second most wonderful being all sorts of fiduciary laws related to the money. And if you look at their operation, they are in direct and intentional violation to criminal standards on those two laws. And what is happening that's so powerful is the Tea Party group, the other people rising up and saying this is wrong, have embraced constitutional principles, the principles of the Declaration of Independence, and all the fiduciary laws related to money. And so you've got a very interesting switch of what the Chinese call the mandate of heaven, because the Tea Party and Ron Paul and his group have got the mandate of heaven according to hundreds of years old traditional American values and American law.
Let me just interrupt. I mean, to boil it down, the banks, the offshore corporations are engaged in a hostile corporate takeover. It's purely illegal. They raise our taxes for corporate welfare to be paid to them by the government. They also come in and buy off the city managers to invest most of our tax money in their derivatives. So that's another tax to the private banks. It's illegal. And now the people are finally waking up and going, wait a minute, a bunch of Madoff criminals, Ken Lay types, are running our society.
Right, and let me tell you what people are waking up to, because people have known it was criminal for a long time, and the question was always what we do about it. But they're coming to the same point I came to in 1998, which was, this thing is so perverted and is so without any, it's so empty of any meaning and values. I want nothing to do with it, and I would rather be out in the wilderness. I'd rather die in the wilderness than be part of the New World Order.
Stay there.
Attention landscapers, house painters, carpet cleaners, pet sitters, gutter cleaners, and anyone who has their own home service business. Would you love to build a huge and loyal customer base fast? Well, now you can. Introducing the Magic Yellow Flyer. The Magic Yellow Flyer marketing system is the most effective and inexpensive way to build a referral-only service business in a short period of time. Get new customers and build a solid customer base. Throw away all of the other ineffective and expensive advertising methods. You need the Magic Yellow Flyer. Corporate America is destroying our country, and it's time to rebuild the backbone of America. No matter what business you're in, the Magic Yellow Flyer marketing system will work for you. Don't have a home business? The Magic Yellow Flyer comes with 15 hot home businesses that you can start at a minimum cost. Visit MagicYellowFlyer.com. That's MagicYellowFlyer.com. Put the Magic Yellow Flyer to work for you today. Visit MagicYellowFlyer.com.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Times are tough, and you got to stretch that dollar. A special invitation for listeners to save. Sign up at DoubleShoppers.com today and start paying the absolute guaranteed lowest internet retail prices for the coolest stuff. New premium brand name TVs, laptops, watches, camcorders, Blu-ray players, and more. All with factory warranties, just like you get from a retail chain, except for the absolute guaranteed lowest internet retail prices. They start low and go lower with our reverse auctions. You save even more with your first $8 auction purchase. Doobly will give you an instant 20 $25 dining certificate good at thousands of nationwide restaurants, plus a $500 vacation discount voucher, usable at hundreds of resorts around the U.S. and world. Sign up today at DublyShoppers.com. Pay the absolute guaranteed lowest internet retail prices, and listeners receive special rewards. It's worth a peek to keep money in your pocket and the coolest stuff in your home and garage. Sign up today at DublyShoppers.com. That's DUBLI Shoppers.com. You'll be glad you did.
The oligarchs, the Anglo-American establishment, have written hundreds of books, thousands of white papers, bragging about the system they're setting up. And people 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago would warn the public, and they would laugh at them. But because people have been out there telling the truth, now that world government's being openly announced, people are going, whoa, this was real, and they're seeing that it's predatory. You know, I get these emails all the time about, it'll be like Star Trek. I'm a humanist. It's the next level of humanity. No more wars. We'll all be together. No, it's a global government waging war on you, humanity. That's what these people out there that support world government